What is it that you can impart that will help and bless somebody else? Hello and welcome to the Arts and Wellness Cafe. It's a cafe studio. The only person who has a drink is me so far, unless you go and make yourself a drink while you listen, or you are, stitching along, sewing along, arting along, whatever it is you're doing along to my chatter in the background. I've just had rosemary leaf and black tea, and the combination is absolutely divine. I would say so myself. All of the teas, if you, aside from the green tea, if you have it as a green tea, it's very good, very nutritionally beneficial to you, but you can also combine them with the black tea and you do get a really lovely combination. I've tried basil, you get like a chai tea kind of spice. The bay leaf, I do like that as well, but it's quite an overpowering. Peppermint, I haven't tried peppermint and black tea, but rosemary, turmeric root, lemon leaf, oh that's my favorite, lemongrass as well, the leaf with the black tea. Anyway, so I've finished my tea. So I just want to check in before the end of the month and make sure that you're okay. And so in the Arts and Wellness Cafe, if you're new here, I just like to kind of think about some of the creative things that we're doing, look at some of the wellness tips involving creativity. If you can, a lot of people say that they're not creative, but everybody is creative. There's something somewhere that you do that is a creative activity, or you can incorporate a creative activity in what you do if you're not already. And yeah, it's about finding ways to express yourself. I use a lot of the different mediums that I have. My studio is full. I don't show you that side, but and I need to I'm in the throes of straightening it up, and it is probably just okay, let's straighten those up and make everything uniform, and then it gives you a different feel because you got everything like askew. So it's to encourage you to be creative, and if previously as a carer, I used creativity every day. That was what got me through. That was what enabled me to express myself as I was looking after my mother, who was living with dementia. And it's been 3 years so far since her passing. And we were just, I was just talking to my sister, it's been 12 years since my brother, and 14 years, my best friend, Barbara, and we were good friends. She passed, and then my dad, it's been 30 years, and it's just like creativity has always been that thing that has enabled me to keep going, enabled me to voice what I couldn't voice verbally. And so I think it's important that you find that something for you. And the topic that I wanted to kind of base today's video on was, the statement is, who are you creating for? And a lot of people who view your work can think that you should be creating for them or for their needs. And I think it's definitely important you think about who you're creating for. And I've found that since I've been doing more on social media with all the different areas that I'm working in, like I blog, I do the YouTube channel, I Instagram, and I'm creating lessons, and then I'm creating art. And funnily enough, they all seem to in some ways fit in their own compartment, but in other ways they're all connected, because creativity is at the base of them, and then I'm the thing that ties them all together. But and they serve different purposes. So when I teach about creativity, I'm teaching you techniques about getting involved in something, or working in an art journal, or making something, stitching, slow stitching, some of my wall hangings. But I'm not teaching you how to, say, make a figure. This just happens to be sitting there. So I'm not teaching you how to make the figure, because when I create these pieces and some of the sculptures, that's about me. That's part of me expressing myself, and I express myself in the combining the different materials together. And this particular piece makes a statement. This is called Me, Myself and I, and it's the kind of the dialogue that we have within ourselves, the parent, the child, and the adult, and how you navigate life based on who is presenting themselves at the time. You know, you may be feeling like, sometimes you can feel very, not immature, but like a child in a situation where it seems like you're surrounded by adults and you're all big people, but there's something in you feels like very kind of insecure. You're insecure about yourself, about something. Or it could just be people in uniform make you think of, like, we were always brought up to, you know, you respect your elders, but you also respect people in uniform and things like that. And it was just like, and now when you look at that statement, it's just like, well, I'm probably a couple of years older than you, or we're probably the same age. And that kind of reverence you might have to somebody who you assume their kind of authority. And it's not, you know, just saying any particular role or whatever, but you sometimes have to remind yourself, you know, well, you're an adult. You know, your views and your opinions count in this situation. You don't have to feel like the child and like, okay, you know, I can't voice my opinion or whatever it is. So as I say, the sculptures are more about me expressing myself, and I do that as well in my videos. You know, I talk about the things that encourage and inspire me, and I hope to encourage and inspire whoever watches. So who are you creating for? Now, when I create my classes, I want to encourage people, again, to be creative. Just because you do an art journal video, or you you do a lesson that is stitching, doesn't necessarily mean that that's the thing that you're going to be doing. And it could just be a precursor to the other things that you need to find for yourself to do. You could, you know, I think I mentioned it in the last video, that you could, you know, go on to write poetry, or you could go on to design fashion, or become a dog walker and design games for I don't know, dogs who have been maimed and can only walk on two legs. You know, it's just like, it's about tapping into what is inside and bringing it out. So who are you creating for? So I had somebody come up to me and tell me that they thought that a video that I was doing, I didn't get to the point. And, you know, well, I only have a few, it's raining now, so you might hear that, that they only had, you know, a short amount of time, and they watched a video and they thought I could have got to the point. And I was thinking, the way I received it at the time was, really? Oh, you think I talk too much? And basically that's what they were saying. And talk too much in the video. And I said, well, you know, I'm going through a process where I take the video and I cut it up into shorts to break it down. And it wasn't that I was offering, oh, well, here's an explanation or here's something that I'm going to do, because it's something that I do. I have shorts. If you look on my YouTube channel, you see that there are some shorts there. But it wasn't until I went home that I thought to myself, wow, so as creatives, as a fellow artist, as creatives, or just as people, we can have an impact on people's lives. And for all that that person knows, they don't know how it took to be able to create the video and post it, or to sit down and make, the process that you have to go through to make a video. They weren't aware of what I went through to make that, or generally what people go through to do the work that they do. And I think it's important that we are careful what we say to others, because you could have said something that has been really damaging, could be really damaging to somebody who wouldn't know how to deal with it. Now, I've been doing this for years, so it's like water off a duck's back. I don't care what people think about, and I'm saying it nicely and saying it, I will say it not in another way, but the reality is I don't care. I've come to this age, and I don't care what people's views are as to why I do what I do, or what I should do instead, or what. My aim is about encouraging others, and so what I do care about is for that person who may be sitting at home, who may be isolated, who may be on their own, who may be isolated and not on their own, who maybe don't have the access to, do anything creative, but there's something in my video that they enjoy watching. I want to encourage people to find their creative spark and not care about whether somebody thinks they can do it or not, whether I can sing in a note or not, or whether you're drawing within the lines or not. I'm not making videos for those people who, oh, well, I've just got, a few moments and I wanted to watch something. So actually, can you get to the point? It's just like, I'm not making a video for you. I'm making for those people who need that connection, who want to feel that they've come into the studio. That's the whole point about all the videos at Arts and Health and the Arts and Wellness Cafe and the Material Musings. I started out with the desire to have it like you've just walked into the studio and we're going to spend some creative time. And, we have a chat, we're chatting, and there's no limit on, well, you can only speak for 5 minutes. And actually, it's like saying to somebody when they're talking to you, actually, can you just get to the point? Can you say it in 5 minutes? I think it's so rude. And I think this did make me think, really. It's just like, well, who am I? I'm not creating for you. I'm not creating for, you've got 20 minutes, you're sitting down doing something creative and you got 20 minutes, but you want me to get to the point. Put on a podcast or put on some music. And it's really weird that on the flip side, the previous day I was talking about, being a child and being creative and being at school. And there were two teachers that were really encouraging, and it wasn't that I had them over a period of years. It was just like they were just there as supply, so they were only there for a short time. And sorry, my eyelash, it could be like the tiniest eyelash, or it might be a dog hair. Sometimes Cole's dog hairs, they're so fine. Get one of those in your eyes, no joke whatsoever. Anyway, so they were really encouraging, and I remembered it to this day, all those years ago. And I don't remember what they said, I just remember what they meant. I just remember them taking the time out, stopping by my desk, and then saying, speaking. One was a guy and one was a woman. And I remember it to this day. As I say, I don't remember what they said, but I remember how they made me feel. And so, as I say, we have, as artists and creatives, we have, and adults, you know, we all have responsibility about the words that come out of our mouth and how we make people feel when we throw these throwaway comments. And you've got to think about what another person may be going through, or what you know, you've not seen them for a long time, and then suddenly the only thing that you can say to them is something negative. You're not encouraging them in any way or whatever, and it's this throwaway kind of, I call it sniper attack. And then you run off, and as you're running off, you're saying, oh yes, you know, by the way, yes, you know, this is nice and blah. And it's just like, but you said what you said. So it's like, you know, I'm working. That's the work that I do. I share, I encourage people, I do YouTube. I'm just expressing myself in all the areas, and if you don't want to watch it, then don't, you know. I think we have to think about really carefully, who is it you're creating for? And what is this pressure you feel that you have to create in a particular style? Or are you still trying to find your style? You don't have to share it on social media. You're still trying to find your style and work with that. Or are you enjoying sharing what you do? If you enjoy sharing what you do, then do it. I'm not, and all the positive things are encompassed in that. Like, so I'm not telling you to go out and wind up yourself on the TV or wind up yourself anywhere. But it's like, you know, what is it you're trying to impart and help somebody else with? And as I say, I feel it's our responsibility as creatives, and that's just me, you might not feel the same way, to impart and encourage. There may be somebody somewhere halfway around the world, on the other side of the world, who stumbles across your video and it changes their life because of something that you said. And it could be some small sentence, and that's the thing, you know, these small throwaway comments that people make, they can impact you. And yes, you can, you know, obviously I'm an adult now, and you know, you I'm an adult now. A big woman. Sometimes I say, I'm a big woman now, you know, I can do this and I can do what I want. And but it's to remember that, yes, you know, you're not that child within that feels, and people can't just come into your environment and spew stuff, and you know, and maybe you flip it on the head, like you say, why did somebody say that to you? Is there somebody said that about you? Because why do you feel the only thing that you can say to me is that? And as a mature artist, as a fellow artist, I don't expect you to, unless I've come to you and asked your opinion about a video. And then it's funny because the video that I checked was 13 minutes. It was just like, how short do you want the video to be? But I have done videos that are longer, and it's more the kind of chat, come into the studio. You don't have to watch me chat. You can just listen, you know, listen to those tones. And it's funny, my son, what do you call it? I can't remember the term that he used, but I was speaking, and I think I needed a drink, and then my voice started to get deeper, and then I was like talking like that. I wasn't like forcing it. Like at the moment, what I'm doing is talking at a lower. But I was just talking. And I was just like, oh, it's like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, you know, talks up, or some artists, some creators, you hear them talk like this, but really they sound like this. There's that rapper who I heard, I don't know why I'm still doing it. I heard him in a video, and he was saying, yeah, you know, when he used to rap at his normal tone, which was very deep. And it was just like, yeah, you know, and then I just said, you know, my voice naturally goes down there because when I sing, like, I've got a 3-octave range. So when I used to sing, I had a 3-octave range. I'm not saying I have a 3-octave range now, but I can, yeah, hit the very low notes and the very high notes when I'm ready. And so I think that is this tone is my kind of comfortable, natural tone. And then if I'm becoming, not anxious, but if I'm in a situation where I'm nervous, my voice gets slightly higher. Not like that. But, and I speak quicker, and I have to remind myself to slow down and breathe. Take your time, take a breath. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Anyway, so that's that. So, who are you creating for? That's the tip for the week. Think about that, and think about the people that you allow into your life to speak about you or to offer advice. Think about who you take advice from, and think about, as a creative, what is it that you can impart that will help and bless somebody else? Because that's what it's about. For me, it's about blessing. Blessing and encouraging people and expressing myself using my art in all the different ways that I can. And I will continue to do this until I breathe my last breath. So who is it you're creating for? Think about your purpose and what you can share with others to encourage them in what you do. It might just be showing something that you've made and somebody looks on that and thinks, I just love the way that you've put the colours together. It's just amazing. Or, you know, when I started working on the leaves, it was just like the amount of people that were blessed just by seeing it. It was just like, I love it. I love being able to create something that somebody else it inspires them to create. And anyway, so I wanted to tell you briefly about the other things that are happening before the end of the month. And again, if you come after May, just check, because like Making Zen goes on until, it started yesterday, it started the 26th and goes on until the 30th of May, but it's coming back in October. So if you miss it this time, if you don't get the VIP, which I'll leave all the links in the description, then you will be able to, you know, see the one in October. And there's usually there's like 30 odd artists, and so you'll be able to do all their activities. They have free gifts, and then there's a VIP section where you get a whole nother set of things from the artists. So, and if you use my link, I'm giving away access to my course, which is Embellished and Stitched, and yeah, and that's valued at $47. So you get access to that. So yeah, so that's Making Zen, and it's on until the 30th. So you've got a few more days left, and a few more days. The VIP access will probably run out at the end of the month. So yeah, just be mindful of that. And Soul Art, International Soul Art Day is on the 28th. So I'm one of the participating artists, and we'll be doing a live stream, and that will be from 11:30 to 1, I think, Eastern Standard Time. And we're coming together. If you sign up, you'll get access to the interview that we did, and yeah, you can join us. It starts at 10 o'clock, and then you can join us, you know, pop in, pop out during the day, but between 11:30 and 1, and then 2 and 3:30, you'll have artists live creating in their space. And I need to tidy up in here a bit. I'd love to have a space where I could just, you know, work on the walls, and I've been, like I did actually the wall behind me. That was the biggest wall that I did. I did a. I'm not going to show you because it's too messy. Actually, do you know what? Let's have a quick look. So it was. I'm having to come out so that you can see it, and then I'll turn around. Ooh. Okay. So you can see. So yeah, that's the biggest wall. I painted it all, and it's Mondrian. I can't remember the name of the artist. I did it, and then somebody said to me, "Oh, that's in the style of this artist," and it was just like, "Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know." But yeah, added all of the paint, and then because it was an untreated wall, and it was just like, let me do something. And so yeah, so that's what I did on that. And then okay, do you want to have a little nosy? So this is from my cardboard bookshelves class. So I did a whole series of little bookshelves. Look at this one with the table and the light. Got the hat there. It's a little bottle, I don't know. So we've got loads of journals. So yeah, we're going to be covering some of that. And this is my leaf art wall. It's just a few of them. I mean, I've been doing the 100 days of leaf art, as I said. And I've also, let me just put you down. My leaves are also part of an exhibition at the Gallery of the Caribbean Art. It's looking at nature and how we impact on nature, but that's not the title of the exhibition. I'll put it in the description, and that's on until June. But yeah, so Soul Art on the 28th, you've got Making Zen, you've got the videos that I create, Material Musings, you've got Arts and Wellness Cafe. We're hopefully going to be able to do 2 episodes next month for June. And lots of other things happening, lots of exhibitions happening in Barbados. So I'm here hoping to, again, just encourage and inspire and motivate and be motivated and inspired, and collaborate with others. Remember, my papers for June come out on the 1st, which is, it's all these birds. They got in upstairs, and they were building a nest by the window. It was just like, what do you think you're doing? But I tried to leave them kind of undisturbed, and then there's a tree just outside my studio where they built a nest there, and then they seem to want to build a nest on the ledges of these windows, but it's too narrow. Their butt's too big. So anyway, so yeah, so all of those things are happening, and I'll keep you updated. Come on to if you want to know a bit more and find out a bit more behind the scenes, then come and join us on Patreon. I do try and share more of the stuff that, it's just like only people who really want to know will come. And it's more things that are creative, more things that inspire, that I've seen or that I've shared. It'll be exclusive videos or early release. So, you're quite welcome to join me anyway. So I think, yes, we've had quite a good chin wag, chitter chatter, as they say. So we're going to leave it there, and I hope you have a very creative day. Remember, tip for the week, the month, who are you creating for? Don't let anybody come and speak negatively in your life, even whether it's about your art or creativity or whatever it is. Do not allow that to happen. You have to have your boundaries. You have to know who you let in. you're not, well, you may do, but I'm assuming that when the postman comes, you don't say, come in and sit down, make you a cup of tea while I open this letter. You know, so you've got to build up these boundaries where if somebody wants, you know, I'll take creative or a positive, constructive criticism if I've asked you. But if I haven't asked you, and you know, if I haven't asked you, then it's just like, you know, it's not going to change what I do. But for some people, they don't have the physical connection of others to be able to sit and chat. And as I say, I just hope that for those visiting, if you have stayed until this long, you felt encouraged, you felt inspired, and you've enjoyed yourself. And it's not that you're sitting there watching feverishly, is that a word, for what I'm going to do next, but I'm accompanying you in your day-to-day, in your journey, and that the soothing sounds of my voice has inspired you and calmed you and made you feel at ease and made you feel like, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, of course you can. Why don't you try it? What if? That's what I want to impart to you. And if somebody is negative towards you and says anything, you send them to me and I'll sort it. I will put them in place. Because it's not good enough. It's not good enough to speak and be negative, and I know there's a lot of it around, and if you out in the public eye, or not that, like, you know, if you put yourself out there, then you are going to get some back, and like, it's just like, I don't need it, and it will be deleted. So if there's any comments, it's deleted, because it's just like, this is a space for us to be creative, for goodness sake. It's about us growing and helping each other. And yeah, so remember, who are you creating for? Remember the boundaries that you set for your peace of mind and your health and well-being. Remember to join us again on the Arts and Wellness Cafe. And yeah, next month, yeah, it's going to be a fiery month. So remember to subscribe if you've not subscribed. And yeah, share. Don't share, but be creative. That's the one thing I say. Be creative. Do something creative, and make sure you do at least a minimum of 15 minutes a day. Yes? Okay. Take care for now. Bye.